Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the third episode of Fabled Talks Podcast. This is me, Abhilash Singh, and my co-host,
along Phom, and this is the first time that we are doing a video podcast. This is the first episode that
True.
we are
This is
doing.
the first time you're seeing our faces.
Yep. The last two episodes, because of some technical issues and things like that, we just did an audio.
We had some constraints.
Yes. So I hope we'll continue doing video podcasts.
Yeah, true. So from now on, you'll be able to see our faces, you'll be able to see our reactions, our hand gestures, everything.
Yeah, and our awkward sitting position.
Also our awkward poses and faces.
Yeah.
All right. So since this is like a reintroduction and this is like our first, since it's our first video podcast, so we want to reintroduce ourselves again. So I'm Abhilash Singh from Assam, and this is Along Phom, and he's from Nagaland. Yeah, and we both started this podcast with the goal of promoting our region, the Northeast region, and our goal is to bring interesting stories and unheard stories from the Northeast on our show and to you.
And also to rent our
Yeah.
things that we have in our mind, things that's going around,
Yeah, this is our weekend therapy session.
Yeah, therapy session.
This is a weekend
exactly.
therapy session.
That's what we have been trying to do, and then I hope, we will do it well.
Yeah,
And we will bring some very interesting guests in the future.
True. Soon.
And definitely, and then we will have lots of interesting stories from the region, because the region needs lots of exposure,
Of course.
especially in terms of long format content.
Yeah.
Because
More descriptive.
more descriptive, more detail, and then more human stories that we
true.
really wanted to bring about. And there are lots of stories, going around, things happening in this region.
Yeah.
But most of the time, like the media or be it in any other platform, things goes unheard, or things goes, like in a very little, what to say, in
a brief format.
format.
Yeah.
So we hope that, and also we don't want to be very formal. That's our main goal. That's what our feature is all about. So we don't want to be in a formal setting where we are asking a guest questions and then that guest is answering. We just want it to be more like interactive.
We don't want to do interviews. Basically, we just want to have conversations with our guests, pick their brains, and learn more about them and their stories. That is it.
Yeah.
So since we have started our video podcasts, we thought about introducing some segments. So the first segment of Fabled Talks Podcast, which is, by the way, inspired from Simon Miniminta from What's Good Podcast with Randolph, which is our this week's segment, which is weird facts from around the world. Okay. So I don't know if you know any of these, but I'm gonna blurt out.
Because it was his assignment that he has to come up with weird facts.
Our homework.
Yeah, it's your homework that you have to come up. At least we have to distribute some work, right?
So we have decided to divide the episodes between us, among us. So I did the first one, he did the second one. So this is mine, and then next
we are
week
still
again.
very new to hosting podcasts.
Yeah.
So
we're trying to figure out how to
gradually we will learn.
Yeah.
How to be professional, how to talk to a microphone. I'm still I still don't know the right
about
decision.
Distance.
Yeah, and I'm very conscious about being in the video.
You look good, bro. Don't worry, man. You look great.
Okay.
Because no one can zoom into your hair right now.
Anyway,
moving on to our first ever segment on this podcast, which is Weird Facts by Fabled Talks. So
bring it in.
The first fact is bubble wrap. It was invented in 1957, but as wallpaper, not as wrap. So you see this?
Okay, so this is
so imagine a wall of bubble wrap. So bubble wrap was only used as bubble wrap, I believe, in 1960. So that was the first time they started packaging shit with bubble wrap and not making it not releasing it as a wallpaper.
Okay, now it's more of a packaging thing.
Yeah. The packaging thing started in the 1960s.
And afterwards, there's a use after once the package is done. Straight.
when we
Who doesn't like it?
Yeah. So I think nowadays that people like kids won't understand the enjoyment that we had just popping bubbles when we didn't have phones or PlayStations or whatnot.
Exactly.
We old people. Actually, I'm not that old.
Nobody is too old. It's just your mindset.
No, I'm saying the age.
Age is just number.
Yeah, the
I'm
age.
going to say the very old.
Yeah.
Quote. So.
But that's I identify more with older people. That's why all my friends
Oh
are.
my God!
All my friends are in their 30s.
I'm not old. I'm still very young. I'm younger than him. So.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like
in Assamese we
let
say.
the audience judge.
Yeah. Okay. In Assamese we say thoda hol.
Okay, I don't know what is Thora Hall.
Thora hol is in like okay. Let's assume.
Oh, okay, Thora Hall. Something.
Thora hol. Yeah. Okay. Let's assume. Okay. Let's get into the second fact. Wait, we're getting sidetracked. The second fact is the first electric chair. The death penalty.
Death penalty. Oh,
chair.
yeah.
Okay. The electric chair was first used in 1890, and can you guess?
1890.
Like it was invented by Alfred P. Southwick, but can you guess what his profession was before inventing the electric chair?
Psycho killer.
No, the man was a dentist.
What the fuck? Why would he even? I mean, like, how does it link up?
I don't know. Also, don't dentists have to take the Hippocratic oath?
I don't know.
Because doctors take that, no, like to
of course.
Swear to. So I don't.
But I don't think during the time those laws were
maybe
even
true.
applicable, like,
Yeah, maybe true. Okay. So the next fact is.
Nice facts.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I hope our audience enjoys too.
Okay.
The third fact is that the modules and operations in the International Space Station, the ISS, are in Russian. So every international astronaut or any astronaut at all who is going to the ISS has to learn Russian at all costs, because otherwise you cannot operate.
Oh. I thought it was like more of a NASA thing, like more in English.
Me too. Turns out the USSR is all over it.
Oh, even Japanese has to learn.
Yeah.
I think the country that goes to ISS
Yes,
is like US, Japan, and Russia. Yeah, because I'm not sure. Maybe I'm
but
wrong.
Also,
but
like when we say
most
that
of the scientists from these countries.
But when we say that they only go from the US or Russia, like there are people from other countries, like other astronauts of other nationalities, Just it's the people are being sent from that country, like US or what, but it can be.
Yeah, international.
So if we want to go to the ISS, we have to learn Russian. Mother Russian.
I won't mind. I mean,
all
like,
right.
Given that there's enough vodka, like while learning.
Imagine so the classes, everyone goes in and the teacher just hands out a shot.
Yeah, I won't be surprised because crazy things happen in Russia, and that's like about Russia.
Civilians have tanks, so imagine someone rolling down Guwahati Street in a tank, man.
Just buy some potatoes and tomatoes.
Bears as pets. Can you believe? Yeah. So
like Kapil
crazy. Okay. So the fourth fact. In 2006, a man from Brisbane, Australia, put up the country of New Zealand on eBay for sale.
Like, how is it possible? I don't know.
Like how we put land on sale, right?
So did anyone buy or?
I don't know. I didn't figure that out.
Okay.
So I don't think anyone
would. This is the
buy.
fact.
Yeah.
Next time I want to know a background story.
Background also.
What happened? What? Like.
Okay, I'll improve. I'll
nice,
improve myself.
To have that.
Yes.
Stories.
Like this kind of thing this kind of thing.
I like the facts.
Yeah.
It's interesting facts.
The last fact, the fifth fact is a fully grown human being can swim through a blue whale's arteries. So it's that wide.
Okay.
So the vein to the heart.
Surprising. Arteries.
Arteries are the brain, the veins that go into the heart, no?
Oh shit. Oh, okay.
So imagine like a full-grown human being swimming through that artery.
Now I'm thinking like, how big is his stomach?
Yeah, man.
Man.
You just get swallowed and not even feel. He'll not even feel anything. Okay, so this was our first segment of weird facts. We'll bring weird facts every episode.
Definitely.
I hope you guys look forward to it. And today, actually, before we started the episode, we planned to talk about a rather serious topic.
It's a serious topic, but it's also one of the rare incident that happens in the region.
Yeah.
Because it's a story about adventure,
mountaineer.
Someone who loves adventure, a mountaineer. So I've been following this news for some time. I'm sure.
Yeah, just for context.
Yeah. So I'm sure even you know that
yeah.
because we do the stories and we have to follow all this news, right?
True.
So it's about a mountaineer from Arunachal. So what are the details that you know?
I know that he was one man named Tapi Mra, and he went with his assistant.
Associate.
He went with his assistant, and I think video surfaced from the second camp that they put up, and I believe after that they lost all connection with people in the mainland.
So what happened was that...
Yeah, enlighten me.
Yeah. So because I've been following this news, I was very interested because I love outdoor adventure.
Okay.
I've been advocating, not advocating to people or, something, but to myself, or I would been thinking over it again that, I want to get into adventure sports in the future. If time permits me, if my financial status permits me, I want to promote because Northeast has a huge scope for adventure sports.
Yeah.
But one thing is that we lack in professionalism because we don't have enough infrastructure, we don't have enough trainings, all the, taken from the gears that we need, accessories that we need to, pursue adventure as a career. So that's what I've been thinking a lot. Even for that matter, if you want to, go out or ride a bicycle or, you want to go out for a run. Because this region, almost, I think, more than half of the year, we get rainfall, right?
Yeah.
But then imagine there is so less or very less choices where we can choose the brands that provide waterproof jackets.
True.
Right?
True.
Forget about other things all these equipments,
the most basic
rescue and operations, all these things, private, organizations that does rescue and all.
Yeah.
Forget about all those things. Just take example of the rain jacket or raincoat.
Yeah.
The basic raincoat that we get it from from that normal store where once you start wearing, your entire body starts sweating. So instead of getting wet from outside, we get wet from inside. So we have that kind of quality of, when it comes to adventure sport, when it comes to outdoor activities. So coming back to the story, that's what's has been going on in my mind for some years.
Just blurt it out.
Yeah, blur. So what happened was that there's this Arunachal mountaineer. So his name is Tapi Mra.
Yeah.
And he's I've never met him. I would love to meet him.
Yeah.
I would someday if
we've done stories of him before also.
Last year also we did. Yeah. Once he's also a general secretary for Arunachal Mountaineering Association.
Yes.
So last time when he was elected as a general secretary, we have done a story. So he was on his fourth attempt to climb one of the tallest peaks in Arunachal. So that peak is called I forgot. I'll have to cross check.
Yeah.
Kairi Satam.
Okay.
So Kairi Satam. I don't know if I pronounce right in your local Thai. I don't know because I've never met a local guy who's helping me to.
We don't mean to offend anybody. Yeah.
So it's one of the highest peak. It is at the height of 6,890 meters, and It's cute. It's like quite high actually.
Yeah.
So it was his fourth attempt that he tried to climb this peak, and what happened was that it was in August 17.
Okay.
That was the last day when he got in touch with other porters who have helped him to like carry his things towards like Camp 1 and Camp 2, and then they came back. So this was the last. So what they did was there were 6 other porters. So they came back, but then 2 of them, like Tapi Mra and his assistant. So I'm talking not like, because I'm not getting the ground report. I'm talking on all this news media that I have gone through. I have read the articles.
All the reports.
So if
already
my
available.
fact is wrong, I'm telling you beforehand. Correct it yourself.
It's
but
all
I
taken
tried
from-
my best to get the facts
we're
right.
taking it from whatever information is available online.
Yeah, someday I would like to go and like
Yeah, of
interview
course.
and like get the ground report and things like that. But then there's so much we can do, because at the end we are not journalists. Also. We are just trying to make content and tell a story about somebody else. So what happened was that Tapi Mra is 30s. He was at 30. I don't know. I forgot his age. 30-something years.
30 plus.
37 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, I just remember. He was 37 years old. So, and then his assistant was just 22 years old. So young.
He's younger than me, man.
Yeah. So it was both of them there, like from Camp 2. So there's like base camp, Camp 1, Camp 2. And then from Camp 2, both of them set out like to climb one of the highest mountain in Arunachal Pradesh. So what happened was that, so in August 17, that was the last time they got in touch with the other team members for the expedition.
Yeah.
And then the other team members, I'm not sure whether they waited or they came back. But on August 27, so after it should be around, according to reports that I got, it should be around, so August 17 and then August 27, it was like 10 days.
10 days, yeah.
So after 10 days, maybe they were waiting there, but then they didn't get any information or they didn't come back. So what they did was the 2 porters that were waiting in the base camp, they returned.
Okay.
They returned to the nearest town, and they reported about the missing, Tapi Mra and his associates, and they were not returning. So they reported that, and the second day on 28th August, the rest of the porters came back. They were also still waiting, and then they reached that place, and it's a very challenging terrain, because I heard that it takes around at least 7 days to reach that, the base camp.
Okay.
And Arunachal is a
first base camp.
wild place. What?
It takes 7 days
Yeah,
to
it's
reach
a
the first.
the
the first
from
one.
the nearest town.
Okay.
Imagine the journey that they have to go
Yeah.
through, carrying all these huge equipments and camps and tents and all that. And you will get to know what Arunachal is once you've been there. Yeah. It's a wild place. It's mountains are so steep. Because I also come from a mountain region, right? But then I've never seen mountains so steep. It's just it's just like a wall.
Yeah.
It's so overwhelming. Because when you see that mountain so big, just as a steep.
Yeah.
Because we come from hills, not actual mountains.
Hills versus mountain.
Hill versus mountain. So Arunachal being a very wild place, so they set out, and also remember that Tapi Mra is not an inexperienced mountaineer.
Yeah.
He has already climbed Mount Everest. So some of that, he was the first. In fact, he was the first guy from Arunachal to summit Mount Everest. It was back in 2009, May 2009. And then also he has done some more expeditions, I think he has done in Island Peak or Imja. So it's almost 6,100 something, 60 meter in Nepal.
Okay.
And few other Mera Peak in Nepal. He did Mount Everest in 2009, Uhuru Peak of Mount Kalimanjaro, and he did in Australia Mount cautious go. I'm like, okay.
So
So
he's
in
been all over the
2011,
world.
yeah. So he has been like, like submitting few bigs around the world. So we can't call him that he was an inexperienced or maybe he had few ideas because he has experienced all these mountains. So what happened was that the base camp is at the altitude of 5,000 meters.
Okay.
So from the base camp, and then you have to, like, the nearest village, it's like 6-7 days from the base camp, right? So when the news came in that they were lost by August 29, so everyone was like, worried, especially I'm sure their family members and the close ones have been worried. So and Kairi Satam, this mountains is located in like the border of like Indo-Tibetan border. So it's locally, I think the tribals call is Mount Chuimo. So they have this local name, Mount Chuimo. Okay. So because I knew it because like I was looking for this on Google when I was looking for I wanted to check like what's happening or how because I'm so interested in Google Maps and things like that. I always give
Google Earth.
Yeah. So I was looking for Kairi Satam and I couldn't find it. Then I found that locally they call it Chiumo. Chiumo. Chiumo.
Okay.
Then when I Google search it, I could find that the mountain, and then I checked the mountain, the altitudes, all those things that I need to find the information about.
Okay.
So it happened like that he was lost, and then he couldn't be in touch, or like there was no news about him.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was that the Arunachal government was alerted.
Okay.
Friends and families and all this mountaineering association were also alerted. And then by the end of August only, it was being alerted. So by September, they started SAR, search and rescue operation. So search and rescue operation was conducted by a joint team of Arunachal government and Indian Army and like lots of local mountaineers and lots of local porters as well, because they have to carry documents, for all the experts that's going to for search and rescue operation. So, but then it was just for a week. That's what, according to what I read online, it was just like from 1 to 5 or 6, like they were looking for it. And on 6, they had some difficulty.
Okay.
So, of course, one bad weather. You know the region, like how the weather changes. Like even in Guwahati, sitting here, we see like
we
rapid change in weather. Some early morning there's like heavy, like hard sunlight, and then evening there's like rainfall. Imagine in hilly areas.
Yeah, more.
It's
extreme.
like every hour the weather is changing.
Yeah.
So the rescue operation team had a very difficult time, like because of the heavy rain, because of all these weather conditions and all. And what they did was they launched another rescue operation after, like, when the weather was cleared, things like that.
Yeah.
And on September 10, around, I think it was on September, they launched a helicopter, like around like 2 cheetahs, according to reports, 2 cheetah helicopters.
Okay.
And 2 advanced, what you call ALH or something like that. Okay, let me check.
So it's like military grade choppers and all.
Yes. So what they did was, so they took all these helicopters and it's called advanced light helicopters, ALH.
Okay.
So all these helicopters, they flew, and then until September 11, like just recently only, they were going and searching, and then they reached the camp 2, and they found like few footmarks. The photos are also
from the second camp.
Yeah, second camp.
Oh, okay.
Because from the second camp, you are supposed to go to the peak.
Okay.
To submit that. So they found few footmarks and all, and then the sad part was that I don't know. It's too early to say that all this to come into conclusion what would happen to them.
Since we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. But it's almost been 1 month. Like if they got lost in August 17. So now what's the date now? Today is September 13th.
13.
So it's almost about to be a month.
Yeah.
So what happened was that, so when the helicopters went on September 12th, they found, the sky was clear, the weather was suitable for search and rescue operations. So they flew around that mountain. So there are some photos being released by Indian Army. And then in that photo, they have given some locations where the base camp was set, the footmarks which they were, from from the base camp to the camp to. So all these footmarks are being shown in the photo. And one thing like they found out was that there was lots of avalanches happening. And also they call it crevasse. Crevasse is a type of a glacier crack.
Okay.
So once the crevasse occurs, then you can fall down into that crevasse, and then there's no return. There's no point of return because it's so difficult to climb the crevasse and all. It can be like 100 foot deep, like 200. It depends on how thick is the glacier. So they found few crevasses and also avalanches around that area. No conclusion was given. And I don't know, it's such a sad story. I mean, sometimes I like someone who loves adventure sports or someone who follows like people who does mountaineering, I just wish, suddenly he and his associates, Tapi Mra, he just appears out of nowhere from different side of the mountain, and then, they're still found and they live to tell their story, all this, all the things that they have to go through. I just wish.
Yeah. Do you believe he's still alive?
I don't know. Like looking at the terrain and then the amount of the duration of the days that they have been lost,
and the evidence that we got now that there were
evidences that the army got, it's difficult for them to be alive. I don't know, because see, when you go there, like I've seen like few documentaries and things like that. No, it's one thing that they are very specific about is amount of load they carry. So it has to be very specific. You have to plan, like you submit at that like limited time, limited days. That's how they carry, because you cannot carry extra load, because you have to climb up. Up. It will only pull you down.
Hang by ropes and all that,
Yeah. So if it's not because of avalanches and all things like that, definitely because of lack of food. That's what I feel like. I'm sure that they have not carried like food for 1 month.
1 month, And also
and the terrain is such that you will only find ice, because I've checked, and all these photos that has been released by army.
There's nothing but snow.
Nothing but snow and rocks.
And also, so you saw the videos that were released from the second camp, no?
Yeah.
So in that video also we can see that they don't have
too much packages.
And also like what they were wearing is not appropriate for where they were.
Yeah. Because I'm not an expert, I cannot comment on what they're wearing and all.
Obviously.
But like Tapi Mra seems like he's okay because he was wearing like proper mountaineering jacket. But his assistant was looking a little bit off, because he looked like he was wearing just a normal cloth that you wear any winter season, like cotton clothes and all. But those at this altitude and those terrain needs different kind of clothing, right? Because the frost, the wind.
Yes.
Imagine like the weather can change within like an hour.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. But I just wish and pray. That's my prayer that
we all pray. We all hope for his
return,
safety.
and then at least the government does enough support.
Yeah.
At least there is a conclusion for the family.
Yeah.
That's what we want, a conclusion.
Also, there should be a opening like an eye opener for the
yes,
all the like relevant authorities and everyone.
Exactly, that's what it is. Initially, that's what I started with. No, that when I wanted to talk about this story, I wanted to talk about like the professionalism that we don't have in the region. For someone who wanted to actually wanted to like climb a mountain. In other countries, you just have to call through your satellite phone, and then there will be a chopper just like within 5 minutes. Yeah. That also not just normal chopper or not like army chopper. It will be ambulance chopper. Like which can
specific chopper for that.
Specific chopper and a specific chopper for all this like mountaineering and altitude. Like which can land even in high altitude.
Yes.
You have seen all these videos, right?
Without helipads and anything, just on rocks.
Just rocks they land, and then just can hover around near that, like surface.
Yeah.
So people are so advanced. People are skilled. So
when
I think like Arunachal tourism
yeah.
has to learn a lot from this because Arunachal has so much land, so much scope, so much potential compared to any other state from the region.
Any hill station or any region with huge mountains who has a like active population who go there for adventure sports and mountain climbing and all that. I think all of those states should like take note and start implementing more.
And then safety precautions has to be taken care of, right? So I think it's a huge part of the government, like any other government that can play the role in bringing the safety precautions and making sure that all these adventure seekers and that adventure tourism is made in such a way that people can enjoy and also be safe.
Be safe, that is more important because we see these like what is it called where they tie a rope and you jump?
Zip lining.
Is it? No, bungee jumping. Bungee jumping. So that I've seen clips like where it snaps off and the guy just plops.
Damn, so that I'm not going to watch those kind of videos. It's just
also
scary, man.
Now this thing my mom is going to Sikkim next, so I've told her like don't like be very safe. Like this is the news. This is what's happening. Be very safe. So she's like about to go with her friends and do paragliding and all that stuff. So it's very concerning right now.
Yeah, it's very concerning. Even in India, I don't know, certain parts of India, I think we have like safety precautions where the guide are properly trained, well equipped with all the safety tools and things like that. But in most part in India, we still have so much to pick up from and so much to learn from other Western countries who has been, in the like who have been pioneers or who have been in forefront.
Yeah.
And in fact, if government can invest, be it state or be it central government, I think they should call all this like experts from other countries and start training locals. You know, like when it comes to adventure sports and all, because adventure sports is all about you have fun. There's a thrill seeking. Also, you put your life in the
life at risk. Yeah,
that's it.
So I wanted to ask you, since we are talking about safety and adventure sports and all this, like let's take a hypothetical.
Okay.
You went to climb a really high peak. Okay? You have Lakpa with you.
Okay.
So Lakpa is his cousin?
Yeah, he can.
Yeah. So you have Lakpa with you and you get stuck there. What is your first move? Like you're stuck at about 5,000-6,000 feet.
Okay, I am not an experienced mountaineering.
Okay. But what's your first instinct? Like what will kick in as soon as you come to realization that you're stuck? What do you think is going to be your first response?
Shelter.
Okay. Smart. You're not losing it.
Second comes route where I can go back. If I'm stuck, I will not go ahead.
Okay.
Because there are things in lives, like whether we want to do, like we want to do everything in one go or, like there's certain stages in life or certain point in life
where you have to take a step back.
You have to take a step back. Yeah. Where we have to know that certain step.
Where know your limits.
Know that point. Know the limits.
Know your limits.
Because if you survive today, there's another day tomorrow.
Yeah, true.
You can, right? So this is what I will do is that like I'll first find a shelter because it's going to be very cold.
Like a cave or something?
Cave or like the wind direction where it's coming from.
Okay. So how do you navigate to the wind direction?
I don't know if I'm an expert. If I'm climbing, then I'm sure I will know that.
You'll know about that.
I'll definitely figure it out.
He's like,
right?
I'll figure it out later.
Yeah. I'll just put my scarf like that, and then the wind blows like, oh, the wind blows.
You're not playing golf,
anyway.
bro.
So anyway, I'll figure it out, right?
Yeah.
That's a hypothetical situation.
What are you gonna do about food? Are you eating lakpa?
No.
If he dies, are you eating lakpa? If let's assume lakpa dies, okay, on 5,000 feet, and you don't have any food nor water, are you eating him?
Yeah, I think in that kind of situation, I think we won't have a choice to think twice. Also.
Animal instincts will kick in, no?
Not just animal instinct here. I think it would just be a human thing to survive if you have the zeal to survive. I mean, there's been incidents like there's this, I don't know which country was that, there was an airplane crash.
Yeah, I know.
You know that?
I was going to tell you about that.
People started eating the flesh and all. And when the time came that the guy had to eat his own family, he said, no, I'll set out and then find some place where I can, I'll find some help and all. So that's how he went out, and then he actually found a rescue or found a habitation where he can find help. So lucky for him.
He's actually lucky. Yeah.
Because he went without any navigation and things like that. It's a very interesting story. There's a movie based on that as well. There's a movie based on that. Yeah.
Okay.
People
I know about
I watched it I watched it long
What's
time
the name
back.
of the movie?
I don't know. I watched a long time back.
Okay, I'll have to go and check out.
You have to go and check out.
Oh, yeah.
It was a long time back. And then, they started eating first in the movie. I don't know about the real life incident. But then they actually start eating like shoelace. They are so hungry, they are so cold, they start eating that. And later on, when they don't have anything to eat, they start eating dead body.
People only, yeah.
It's just too crazy.
Fucked up shit.
Anything to survive, bro. Anything to survive.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but that's what I wanted to know, like what you would do. Since you go out and do stuff a lot more than I do.
I don't know. You can't say that I do.
You
more.
do do stuff, bro. I'm at home 6 months straight.
Yeah, I like being outdoors because I always think that I grew up in outdoors. Yeah, my playground would be.
Like you have a connection with nature.
Very much. And I'm thankful to my parents and my roots, actually. See, I'm not bragging about being a tribal or being an indigenous guy. But I think if you look at indigenous people around the world or the tribes, they always have a connection
with the nature. Yeah.
They respect the nature. They understand the nature. They try to live with the nature. They try to live
within the laws of nature.
Yeah, within the laws of nature. That's the best thing I like. But nowadays, because of development, because of all this consumerism, even the tribal society, we're still losing it.
You're getting packaged meats now.
Sad, yeah. Yeah, it's a packaged meat. You can go and... Earlier, people used to go and hunt.
Yeah, we talked about hunting last episode. Yeah, that is true. And it's not just like indigenous tribal people. It's just people in general.
Yeah, people in general.
Yeah.
So one thing I always keep on telling, I always keep on not telling, but I always keep on thinking, when somebody from Delhi, Mumbai, or somebody from like metro cities and says that, oh, they are eating those kind of meat, they shouldn't eat that kind of meat.
Yeah.
What kind of meat that I'm
obviously.
So they would be like saying all those things and all. But then imagine if you are in the situation, you are in a place where your only source of protein is a meat.
Yeah.
Because you cannot grow all the proteins that you need. You don't have a supermarket. You cannot
within a boiler farms.
Yeah. Forget about like supermarket. You don't get electricity. You don't have proper roads.
No Wi-Fi, nothing.
No Wi-Fi, nothing. It's not a city. You can't imagine that you get brought in from. If you tell a guy or any person from a remote village, in Northeast, take any remote village in Northeast, and tell them, oh, you want to buy a meat today? You can go to the market and buy any type of meat, any part of the meat. I mean, like, you want legs, you can buy legs. You can. They were like, what the are you joking me? You know, like, I mean, that's a luxury they cannot imagine.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's so true.
But I always think that, you know, like, we don't have rights when we have not in their position, when are not in the position, or when we have not stepped foot when you're in their shoes. We cannot, you know, like, talk for them, or we cannot advocate for them also. And we cannot, you know, like, go against their culture or say that, oh, they should not be killing animals, they should not be eating that animals, they should be eating that animals. Who are you to tell? Come and try to live like them.
Yep, that is true.
And this is what I'm telling you, okay? Especially for if you're listening from metro cities, Delhi, Mumbai, or Bangalore, anywhere.
All of you.
Or even in any cities that you're living.
Yeah.
Even any cities that you can go and buy meat in a supermarket or in any market that you can buy, you get daily. I come from a town where we don't get meat daily. Because like meat, in order to have meat, we have to rear our own livestock.
You have to go and retrieve meat.
Yeah. So we have to grow the meat. Like, you know, like my mom and my family, we have to grow chicken for like 6-7 months. Only then we can eat or we can drink the soup of the chicken, local chicken. Even for the pork, right?
Yeah.
Like, we have to rear it for like at least 10 months, 12 months. Then during that time, 10 to 12 months, we are not having meat. You think that we are killing everyday meat, and somebody who
going hunting every day.
No. People eat meat daily in cities and like that. Fortunately now, because I realize all these things because I live in a city now, and now it's a different kind of luxury. But back at home also was a different kind of, you know, like, not as a luxury, but it's a different lifestyle. It's a different, you know, like, consciousness. I would feel like, you know, of being in tune with the nature, in just being following the cycle of the nature. Have food during the season.
Yeah.
Right?
Not everything available every season.
Not available every season. For us, potato, we would only have like during winter season, because potato is only available during winter season. We don't get it entire year. Right? Yeah. Cucumber, one of the things is that you will get in during summer and autumn. But if you go in the cities, you get all every entire year. Yeah. And that's, of course, because of what's you call, like, genetically modified seeds.
Okay. I thought you was going to say import and export.
No, because like all those seeds of the plants are being genetically modified. So
that is true.
Also, import export it plays lots of role because it depends on the season, right? So in other part of the world, it can be a different season. Like in Australia, when we are having summer, it will be a winter, and winter.
Yeah, that is
summer,
not bad.
That's not
but
bad.
The injecting is.
Yeah, the injecting also, you know, genetically changing the like.
To make it bigger and
to make it fatty, bigger, more longer, sustainable, or not sustainable, but more. It will stay in the shell for a long time. So all the things, it's I'm talking this not because I know lots about like biology. I don't know about nature. I'm just like I talk from experience growing up in an indigenous society.
The thing is,
where I've seen my parents farm, where I have eaten foods that we used to grow during season. Yeah. So that's where it's coming from. I'm no expert.
And also now you've seen, like, you've lived both the lives.
both lives.
So now you can like measure both of them, like compare both of them.
Yes.
More properly, let's say.
Exactly. Now my point of view is more clear.
Yeah.
when it comes to both sides.
And that, I think, with most things that we as people disagree on, like major issues in society, I think this is one thing that can be solved. Like, you walk a mile in my shoes and I walk a mile in yours.
Exactly. Not just about food, about culture.
Yeah, not just
anything.
Anything.
I think
in life.
it's so easy to judge people.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult to be in others' shoes.
To live their life.
Yeah, to live their life. And once we are in the shoes, I think for most people, okay, we judge people so easily. I might judge you, oh, he's like that, he's like that.
Yeah.
You know, I would say lots of things. But when I'm in your shoe, who knows, I might not be able to stand in your shoes.
Yes. You might
I
fall
might
and
even
crumble.
give it, I will give up, who knows, right?
Fall and crumble,
So that's kind of perspective that we need to look.
Perspective.
And that's where we are very lacking in this modern society.
Yeah.
Well, of course, like with social media, all of things and all, we wanted to do, oh, somebody is doing that, somebody is doing, we want to compare with others, we want to do
Do you remember when, like, Facebook, like the wave of Facebook when it first came, like it was advertised as bringing friends closer?
Oh yeah.
You remember that?
Social network.
Yeah, the social network. And now, like social media has done exactly the opposite. Like, dragged you as far away from your friend as possible. Like, not in that sense, like physically taking you away, but like emotionally connecting with your, like how you used to connect with your friends. Now you just see their happy faces all the time. So you just like a picture and like, oh, they're doing good.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to check up on them.
That's the culture what the social media has brought in.
True.
Everybody wants the perfect picture. Everybody wants the perfect video.
True.
With the perfect music.
True.
That's what life is all about. It's become more about showing you the perfect part. So that's what I always challenge myself, okay? One thing I think that has given me a positive outlook on life is that I never try to, compare, like, especially all these live things and, like how people are having fun on vacation we see on Instagram.
Yeah.
And most of the time on Instagram is stories, inside stories, right?
Yeah.
People update their daily life, they're doing this, they're eating that.
I did that shit. Fuck me over. So hard.
I do every now and then, but like I do things that I actually do.
No, but mine is like it happened when I started like working.
Okay.
So I completely became disconnected with everyone. I was at school still. So I became disconnected with everybody. And then all I would see, like I'm sitting in a 9 to 5 all day, like 6 days a week. And all I'm seeing is all my friends like having fun, moving around. And I'm why am I here? But now I know why I was there.
See, that's what I'm trying to tell you is that, see, maybe I'm having the worst day of my life, right? So worst situation. So things are not going right with me, things are not happening with me. And I'm seeing somebody going for a vacation. They're having the best times of their life. And I'm seeing like 15 seconds of their best times of their life.
Yes.
And how can you compare the 15 seconds of your best times of your life to your worst time?
Yeah. Worst days.
Worst day of your life. Because things are going to turn around.
Yep.
Someday that person will have the worst day of my life. I'm going to have the best days of my life, right?
We don't wish that on anybody. It's just wish like.
And who knows, right? After that 15 seconds, they took this story.
Something bad might have happened.
Something bad might have happened. And then I might have like, after that, when I was checking that stories, the moment that I'm checking the stories, I might have a bad time. The next hour, it could have been totally different. I might have, day was like 1 hour, it was very bad. Now it's a very good day that I'm having. So it's so difficult to compare, and that's what I, always tell myself that, don't compare your worst days with somebody else's best days. Because I'm going to have my best days.
True. It's such a nice motto to live by.
Yeah, and it helped me a lot over the years. Because initially, right after my college, right after my after studying, university, and I will always compare that because you are thinking about your job, your career, and of course I don't come from like wealthy family and all.
Yep.
And I see some of my friends who are from a wealthy family, like they would go to like other countries, like be on vacation every. Then I would like always think like, where am I? What am I going to do? People are having fun. People are doing these things, and I'm like, nice. I think, and then I changed my outlook, thinking that I cannot be comparing. It's not healthy for me.
Not healthy at all. Also, this whole like watching other people go on vacations. I think we all like. I'm just giving an example, like watching people go on vacation, being happy. I think we all can find like minute nuances in our lives where we can live in that happy state of mind. Okay, so I don't think I'm being able to explain it properly, but I'll explain it through my own personal this. Okay, so I'll watch everyone have fun throughout the week. Okay, and then I get 1 week off, and then on that week off I'll get a burger from like every week I get a burger from different places. So that ordering the burger, waiting for the burger, having it, and then rating it. I rate burgers also, by the way. Check out my Instagram.
Oh, you rate burgers?
Yeah, I have been rating burgers. So that is how I took up. So rating burgers was just an excuse. So that
why can we not rate in the podcast? If we are doing video podcast,
of course we can rate. Yeah, now we can rate.
Like, before we start, we'll start with a burger. We just
burger rating.
Yeah, rating. I mean, we get sponsors.
But I'm very brutal, bro.
Do you know like Barstools?
Barstools, yeah.
They rate pizza.
Yep.
They do
Barstools?
pizza rating and all.
I think some other vlogger also they do this food rating. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that I found my 15 seconds of happiness from all of my Insta stories and all in that one burger a week. Mm-hmm. So that is where you like these small kind of things.
Yeah.
That is how you find your own own happiness.
Yeah, you can find pleasure. Happiness is small things. You don't have to do like big. You don't have to go book a private jet or like go in a yacht or something like that.
Private jet is too far, bro. Even booking a car from here to there.
I'm just
I know.
Giving it as an example, but then it depends on individual to individual.
Yep.
Like what happiness is,
and it also takes
what pleasure is.
It takes a lot of time to grow out of that state of envy. At the end of the day, it is envy. Right?
I think it's a part of growing up. One thing is it's part of evolution, and if your mindset can grow very well, can adapt to things, and then can turn it into a positive way, it's going to take a very short time. But then if you don't have that mindset where you just linger on to your one thoughts that you have, so if it a negative thoughts, then you can linger on to that negative thoughts for a longer time.
True. That is why
very unhealthy.
Yeah, and that is why sometimes guidance is required, especially in younger people. Like guidance is in mental health guidance and all.
Definitely required.
It's required counseling and everything.
It's a very new concept.
But I think it should be implemented in every school, every college, because I think that is the age demographic where it starts.
It's because it's so difficult to say what age group we have to start, because we need extensive scientific research on all these things, like when does it start, where does it start, because 5 to 10 years back we were not facing all these problems. Like I just said, not 5 years, 10 years back we were not having all these. 15 years back,
we didn't know how to word it and phrase it.
Nobody was talking about mental health.
Yeah.
Because it was not as severe as it is right now.
Yeah.
2022, we are having lots of mental. You can see, you just talk to another friend, then they obviously have some mental health issues and things like that. But it's how human beings are evolving and what kind of technologies are coming in, how we are utilizing all these technologies, whether in good, in positive or negative ways.
Yeah. Also, I don't think we're there yet. I think we're in this transformational stage right now. We are getting there where we openly talk about it, and it is a national issue, let's say.
All these years that I remember, in my society, if I come from, then mental health was always considered as a taboo.
Yeah.
But it's a very rare, because mental health, in a village, one guy, two guy might have some mental health issues. He was considered as a village madman.
Madman, yeah.
So those things happen, but I think nowadays people are opening up to, like, there are like solutions. It's just like disease as any other disease and things like that. But it also, it's very rampant.
Yeah, it is. Like I watched this House of Secrets, the Burari murders documentary recently. Crazy. I watched it. That's
spine-chilling.
Yeah, man.
For everyone who have not watched, you should
definitely watch. Yeah, man. It's such.
But also, if you like, but also a little bit thriller horror, it's a bit.
Yeah, it's a fair warning that it is a bit disturbing. Yeah, it's a bit disturbing. So, but that thing also, like the whole incident, like spawned, like, the whole case spawned from the man's PTSD issue, right?
Yeah.
The man's PTSD issue. So
imagine that one, like PTSD, I would call as a disease.
It is an illness.
It's a disease that can change mindset of a person and then can manipulate other
yes
people
it
around
can affect so many 11 people at once.
Wow, crazy, man. Imagine like if somebody has, like in our friend circle, and then somebody has PTSD and they start controlling, influencing us, and
that's why I always reach out to anyone I'm in touch with. But yeah, also it's very, you cannot, like that man stopped talking for like a good couple of years, I think. He stopped talking after the attack.
He lost his voice. Something happened to his voice.
I mean, yeah, that's one thing that they said. Like the family, not the family, I think his friends said that we are not sure if he actually lost his voice or after the attack, if he just didn't want to talk. So it might, like we feel sometimes like that, isn't it? We just don't want to talk to anybody. Yeah. So imagine like not want to talk to someone for years. So
crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, still there's a bit of a stigma, but I think we're getting there. Because more and more people are talking about it, and it's like people on the internet have always like catered towards this issue, right? But I think on a more mainstream level it's been talked about. Like when we look on the internet, what we look up to, like celebrities, right? Like all famous people,
successful people.
Yeah, it's not look up to as in like that is what is in our.
Yeah, that's what media provides.
Yeah. So it's good to see that at least people with a voice are speaking up.
Yeah.
Because that's how we cannot do anything, right? People in power can do something of change.
Yeah. People who has more influence.
More influence, yeah.
As normal people.
So that is important. Like as much as we have this slander of celebs, like celebrities are not. Like they are synthetic beings, most people say that. So as much as we say that, I think as a common people, as general people, we need somebody of that stature to be on our side, to be connected with it. So like anyone who's like every week going on a boycott trend on Twitter, I'm just saying, like, you never know, bro, who's gonna be on your side and who's gonna help you when.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
It's a weird times.
Weird times, yeah.
But I like the weirdness as well.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to talk about.
Yes, there's so much to talk about. And
because, back, it was like ancient times, like back in like our forefathers and fathers. The exchange of information, knowledge would be so limited, right?
Yeah, true.
Because we don't have like fast internet, like you can see what's happening in US, you can see what's happening in UK or any other part of the country, say that. Also, then we would just be talking about the same story about like our grandfather who was a warrior who killed that animal, like every night would be the same fucking story.
That's what I was going to say. Like even we didn't have conversations as like our grandparents didn't have conversations as deep as this.
Yeah, like
as deep as this. No, their conversations used to be like, hey, what are you doing? How's your farm? What did you do today? That's it. Yeah. Like men, men. Yeah. But fuck it, man or woman or whatever gender you identify yourself as. At the end of the day, we're all human beings, and what we need in life are human beings.
That's what, the life is getting more complex, more weird, technology is
more hard, more
complex,
difficult.
More difficult is not. I think all this complexity, it's making it so hard because most of the things are synthetic, like you said. Like the technologies are synthetic. The other things are like all mechanical things and all. But our biological things are very slow to evolve. The evolution process is very slow, right? So I feel like our brain is finding it so difficult to catch up with the technology, the mechanical things and things like that. And so when that, like evolution is not being synchronized, so I feel like all this disease comes from that place. Chaos comes from this place because like everything is like complex. Everything is our brain is so limited to understand all this things that's happening around. I feel like
it's like a 3D being in a 4D plane.
Just my opinion.
Yeah, we are like
wild thoughts.
Wild thoughts. It is true. This, like you said, evolution. It's a very time-consuming thing. So we are giving it time right now. Let's see. Maybe our kids will be more fortunate. Maybe they'll live in a better society.
I hope unless we don't this world is not destroyed by
as long as we don't as long as we don't nuke ourselves in the next couple of years, which is highly doubtful.
I think we should talk about climate change as well because like when you talk about future,
true.
When you talk about future, your kids, most of the one thing that we always have to question is the climate change.
How many years we have? 80 million, I guess.
It's so difficult to say. It's even the scientists around the world, they are not able to say maybe
scientists
like
is like
tipping point is there, tipping point is that this thing's world is going to end.
Dude, we've crossed like the tipping point 4 times now.
Yeah, I know. So I think we need to talk once we do a little bit research, get a little bit.
I think we should have an
idea.
expert here.
Yeah, actually we should have
on climate, like environment and climate and everybody. Somebody who's like on field. Doing something.
Who knows shit?
Yeah,
because we consume all this data morning to evening, like 24
and
hours.
someone who's like actively working for it. Because let's be honest, we are not working for it. We are just contributing more towards the carbon footprint of the world.
Yeah, so, right now.
Yeah, right now. This.
Yeah, we're using all this.
Now we'll go home on our scooters. More pollution.
Yeah.
So we are part of the problem, but the
thing is that we need to bring out and discuss the problem. And unless you discuss this problem.
Discuss the problem and also find solutions.
How do you find solutions?
Yes.
If you don't discuss, how do you find solutions? So I think next episode we will discuss about climate change.
And also fun. Let's have a first guest next episode.
Okay.
Possibly. Let's hope.
So I think we are done for today.
Yes.
It was a very interesting talk.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
I'm not sure about if our listeners would enjoy, but I'm sure we had a lot of fun. We enjoyed a lot.
Maybe.
And that's the whole point.
Yes.
Is that our discussions should be interesting for both of us.
For us, yes.
And when we are having fun, the listeners should also have fun.
And also, this episode, I would like to say, even if you didn't have fun, because it's a bit of a somber episode. Like, even if you didn't have fun, like you at least, hopefully, learned something new. Regarding
the facts.
Yeah, and also with the Tapi Mra incident and the whole story.
Yeah, because if you are listening from Northeast region or from India, then, and if you love adventure sports, going out, then these things are, like you have to keep in the back of your mind.
These are conversations we need to have.
Yeah, these are the conversations that we need to have.
Yes, true.
You have to address to our authority, we have to address to our policy makers. So, I think we had a fun talk.
We had a fun talk. We did great. I missed. Okay. Let's wrap this up. Thank you so much for tuning in this week on the 3rd episode of Fabled Talks Podcast with me, Abhilash Singh and
Phom.
And we'll catch you next week. Peace out.
Peace out. Thank you.
Let's go.
Can I go for a pee?
Chalo, let's pee. I mean, not let's pee, but yeah, you pee, then I pee.
I'm sorry, PR.
Also the AC, it's tight.